Hi, and welcome to this video where I'll show you how you can develop some Groovy scripts that can do different things. So one of my things was I saw this blog by Cat the other day, and one of the things that really a good way and nice introduction of what he has done. And his example is also quite useful about understanding how to do things. And then when you get to this this flow, so he is getting a JSON in, he is splitting it out and sending it via mail. The things that struck me was that here is first converting the JSON to XML, which is okay, and then here is passing all of the XML in this format. And obviously this is okay way. It is easy to understand what's going on and figure out who has made which changes. But some of the things I do not like about this is that he is firing up the XPath parser each time trying to resolve these values. XPath is obviously the easiest to get started with this. But yeah, now I don't know how many fields he has. He has a number, and we all know that if you have 10 fields or 20 fields, the chance that someone else would add some more is fairly high, and then you need to go in and edit and modify this. The thing I want to do is, okay, can we actually just take the JSON directly and convert it into this header attributes or properties directly. So let's try that. So let's just create a new iFlow. JSON parse JSON parse example. That's fine. Save, cancel. And then we will edit this. We will set it to here. We will set the HTTPS. I will not do all the other steps. I will just say we got it here. And then I will. To do debugging easier, I sometimes find it useful to add just a header or property from time to time to see what's going on. But I then want to use the script, and here I want to take the Groovy scripts and add it to my flow here. And in this Groovy scripts, I want to create a new iFlow. And with this iFlow will do something. It is not really what we need right now, but I want to get started on how you can actually develop these things. And obviously you can skip here and just go to where we're using ChatGTP to create this. But there is a way that is a little easier to manage, and this is using the Figaf tool. The Figaf tool is a Java platform that allows you to develop SAP integration faster, making it a lot easier for you to see. Forgot here. A lot easier for you to parse and manage your SAP integration. And what we're doing now is we are just synchronizing it to Figaf, giving the Figaf tool information about what is going on here. So now the Figaf tool knows that it is here. It can actually see that it has 2 revisions. We don't need that for now. Good. We want to create a test case for this because that would make it easier for us to develop this scenario. So first I have taken the JSON that has been provided, and I will go into my Postman here. I found out that if you just copy paste it directly from the URL, it will be missing some data, or it's formatted wrongly because HTTP thinks these codes are different. So let's see here. We will need to switch the iFlow into trace mode. And this is not found. Did I forget to deploy it? Deployed. And let's see here. We have it in trace mode, and this is important. So I want to use my test case as a way to develop. We put it in here as the text. And so what I'm doing now is I'm creating a test case in the Figaf tool. And this will allow me to develop these integrations faster. And I'll show you how in a short while. We'll license this object. Good. Okay. So now we can go back to our tracked object. We can open our Groovy script here. Here we have an IDE button in the Figaf tool, and this will allow us to take this payload that we created and the input message for it. We can run it, and now if we run it, we will get the same result. If we make a modification here, I'll change this and run. We can see we're getting it different up here, and we can compare and see, there was actually a difference here. So that is all good. Everybody is happy. Right. Now we need to figure out how to perform this. And, well, I'm not the best Java developer or Groovy developer, so I rely on ChatGTP. And it's not ideal, but let's try it with this. So what I'm trying to do is say I do have a JSON string. Like the following. In SAP CPI. I'll be using CPI here because, yeah, back in 2021, cloud integration was not as widely used. Let's see if we can actually zoom in. Pass this JSON and save each name value in the properties. So let's see. And obviously sometimes I do see a difference in what it is producing, and I guess we should just skip all the blah blah. So last time when I tried it, I got it first without this payload up here. And we can see here, this is definitely wrong. Because you cannot get it from the headers. Body. So let's see here if it's JSON string class. So this looks pretty okay. So let's try to copy this. Go back to the Figaf tool. We'll update it here. We will run it to see if it works. Then we are getting some kind of an error here calling in the JSON. There was some problem with it. Let's see. Did I make the comment wrong, or is it the JSON that is being wrong? Methods property gets string value. See? So it is saying something about the content. Let me just go through this. Yeah, when I've changed this JSON, I forgot a comma, which is what caused the problem. And now we can see it passes to the document and it gets all of these values as the properties. Now we can obviously, if we need to have it as local value, we'll just add local value underscore plus, and then we'll press run, which will then put it into this. So really easy to do and debug. ChatGPT did give me a pretty good example here, so I'll just say upload, synchronize and navigate. Let me just see here. So that means that I actually need to update my test case for this to work. So we will go back into here, and if we do refresh here, if we check the resources, we can now see it is actually using this element that we just used. So we just want to configure it, save as version, and we want to deploy it again, and then we want to go and synchronize it into Figaf, so Figaf knows that there is a difference here. Good. The problem is that in our test case that we created, we have used the wrong payload. And let's just see here, the test case. Here we have a test case. We can go here, we can go and we can edit it. So that's the reason it sees this as JSON or as XML. So now, we'll see here. So now it switches this to JSON, so that is okay. And all the others would then be wrong, but anyway they are wrong because we are not expecting this transformation. So now we are running this. We can now see it is running, and if we go to the tool, we should be able to see that it is running. Let's see here, it says iFlow not started. Usually it's pretty fast at starting. Parse X. So now it is sent, and that means if we go back here, we can see that it has been processed. And if we go here and check in the Figaf tool, we can see we received these, and these says it is not compared. And this is because we had this wrong JSON versus the real JSON, and we can actually see that this is the difference that it's making. So we just need to update this, drop all test cases, and now if we go back to the test case, we can run it again. And this would allow us to have a successful test case that we can run, edit, manage, all really easy. And that means that, yeah, right now we have simplified the flow. We can add as many properties as we like. They will always just be added to the properties. And if we check the payload here, we can see here that we're getting all of these values in the test property. I hope you find this interesting. So obviously this requires that you're using the Figaf tool to make the process easier, and obviously this was a fairly simple example. I do think ChatGPT has some good values and gives you a lot of heads up on these things. You obviously need to know it. So last time I tried it, let me just give you this one. So I ran this yesterday. So first time it passed all of this, created a map, but it did not have all of the PI wrapping. Then I just used this method def method, and then it actually created much the same as we saw today, if not the same. It did have a little difference in the way it presented the values, etc. But anyway, it is a good place to get started. I think you will still need to have some Groovy understanding about what it is creating, and obviously also from the first version we got was also wrong. This is where you need to understand what it is actually doing and why it is doing these kind of things. So makes sense to use, makes sense to try out and see what can actually be done, and then obviously go and handle the tests. And I do hope that you want to try out the Figaf tool to handle these scenarios. Thanks for watching. I hope you liked it. Please hit the like, please hit the subscribe, and please share with your community. Thank you.